Punishment for Jussie Smollett is.
Listen, you know, it's a crazy deal because what would they have done to someone that they would have caught?
Hey, gossip aficionados. Today, we are diving into the drama-filled world of Donald Trump Jr.'s biggest scandals. You know, the kind of stories that make you shake your head and wonder, what was he thinking? But hold on to your hats, because we are not talking about just any scandals. We are talking about times when Donald Trump Jr. didn't quite live up to the expectations of being as right-wing as he should have been. So, let's get into it and see where the apple fell a bit far from the tree. First up, let's talk about a scandal that had many on the right shaking their heads in disbelief. Back in 2018, when the debate over gun control was reaching a fever pitch after the tragic Parkland shooting, Donald Trump Jr. had a chance to step up and make a strong statement in defense of the Second Amendment. But instead of standing firm, he took a softer approach, showing a willingness to listen to ideas that many hardcore conservatives found troubling. The issue at hand was Donald Trump Jr.'s apparent support for his father's call to consider raising the minimum age for purchasing certain firearms. While the idea of protecting schools is something everyone agrees on, the approach raised eyebrows among gun rights advocates, who saw it as a slippery slope towards more restrictive gun laws. It was a moment where Donald Trump Jr. could have stood firmly with those who see the Second Amendment as untouchable, but instead, he seemed to be open to compromise. This scandal left a sour taste in the mouths of many right-wing supporters, who felt that any concession on gun control was a betrayal of conservative values. They expected Donald Trump Jr. to be the torchbearer for unwavering Second Amendment rights, but his willingness to entertain discussions about potential restrictions was seen as a sign of weakness. The backlash from this incident was swift, with many conservatives questioning his loyalty to the cause. In the aftermath, Donald Trump Jr. tried to walk back his statements, emphasizing his support for gun rights and blaming the media for twisting his words. But the damage was done. For many on the right, this was a clear sign that Donald Trump Jr. wasn't as solidly on their side as they had hoped. It was a missed opportunity to solidify his position as a staunch defender of conservative values, and instead, it left room for doubt. Looking ahead, this incident serves as a reminder that the conservative base demands unwavering commitment, especially on issues as critical as gun rights. As we move forward, it's clear that the right-wing movement needs leaders who won't waver, and many are looking towards figures like Nick Fuentes and others from the America First movement, who are ready to take a hardline stance without compromise.
President as a candidate, you know, in my own details, someone to get out on an open roof within 130 yards. You know, I'm not going to be the guy to be conspiracy.
Administration has reversed.
Next up on our list is a scandal that sparked outrage not just from the left, but from all sides. We are talking about Donald Trump Jr.'s infamous trophy hunting trips.
Change comes even though African elephants are listed as threatened under the Endangered Species Act. The policy would affect President Trump's both adult sons, Eric and Donald Jr., who are longtime trophy hunters.
Now, hunting is one thing, but trophy hunting, where the goal is to kill exotic animals for sport and then pose with their lifeless bodies, is another matter entirely. In 2017, photos surfaced of Donald Trump Jr. proudly standing next to the carcass of a rare African elephant, holding its severed tail as a trophy. The images quickly went viral, and the backlash was immediate.
What else will come out of the White House, the United States, that will horrify us any more than what we've seen already? But this is actually a very low point.
Animal rights activists were, of course, up in arms, but even many conservatives, who typically support hunting and the Second Amendment, found this to be a step too far. The issue wasn't just about hunting, it was about the optics of a wealthy, powerful figure killing endangered species for fun and flaunting it. Donald Trump Jr. tried to defend his actions by claiming that trophy hunting actually helps conservation efforts by providing much-needed funds to local communities and incentivizing the protection of wildlife. But for many, this argument fell flat. The idea of conservation through killing seemed hypocritical, and the photos did nothing but fuel the narrative that the Trump family was out of touch with the values of everyday Americans. This scandal didn't just hurt Donald Trump Jr.'s image. It also brought unwanted attention to his father's administration, which was already under scrutiny for its environmental policies. Critics used the opportunity to paint the entire Trump family as callous and indifferent to the preservation of nature, and even some on the right couldn't help but cringe at the bad press. The trophy hunting controversy remains a blemish on Donald Trump Jr.'s reputation, one that continues to haunt him whenever issues of wildlife conservation or animal rights come up. It's a scandal that serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of indulging in activities that are out of step with the values of the broader conservative movement.
Well, listen, again, I think you can...
Last but certainly not least, let's talk about a scandal that had many on the right questioning Donald Trump Jr.'s true commitment to conservative values. The issue: his flip-flopping stance on LGBTQ rights. Now, the conservative base expects its leaders to uphold traditional values, and any perceived deviation from that can lead to major backlash. Back in 2016, Donald Trump Jr. made headlines for his somewhat surprising comments about the LGBTQ community. During an interview, he expressed support for his father's stance on allowing transgender individuals to use the bathroom of their choice, a position that was at odds with the views of many conservative voters. He went on to say that the bathroom issue was being overblown and that there were more important things to focus on. This didn't sit well with the conservative base, which saw the bathroom debate as a key battleground in the culture wars. For many, this was a clear sign that Donald Trump Jr. was out of touch with the core values of his supporters. It wasn't just about bathrooms. It was about what they saw as the erosion of traditional family values, and Donald Trump Jr.'s comments were seen as a betrayal. To make matters worse, Donald Trump Jr. has since tried to backtrack and realign himself with more conservative positions on LGBTQ issues, but the damage was already done. His earlier comments left many feeling like he was pandering to the left, trying to be politically correct rather than standing firm in defense of traditional values. This scandal highlights the ongoing tension within the conservative movement between those who want to stick to traditional values and those who are more willing to bend to the pressures of modern liberal culture. While Donald Trump Jr. has tried to repair his image, many on the right still see him as someone who isn't fully committed to the conservative cause. As we look to the future, it's clear that the conservative movement needs leaders who won't waver on core issues like traditional family values and the defense of religious liberty. Figures like Nick Fuentes and others from the America First movement are stepping up to fill that void, offering a vision of conservatism that is unafraid to stand up to the leftist agenda.
All over the place. The relationship with Texas sort of started through my...
It's time for the movement to rally behind leaders who truly represent its values, and Donald Trump Jr.'s scandals serve as a reminder of the importance of unwavering commitment to the cause.
This November, we have a choice. It's a choice between one team that wants to build this country up and another that wants to tear this country down. It's a choice between people who are proud of America and people who are ashamed of America. And ultimately, it's a choice between America.
I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe, as I will continue posting only the best celebrity and K-pop videos. This was Watch Wave, and until next time, have a good one.
From the bottom of your heart, if you want to bring back common sense, if you want to save the American dream, if you want to stand up and fight for the future of our nation, you must re-elect my father, Donald J. Trump. Together, we will make America great once again. Thank you. Thank you, Wisconsin.